In this question we are being asked if the value of b minus a is at least, so greater than or equal to 2 times 3 to the power of k minus 2 to the power of k. The first piece of information is that a equals 2 to the power of k plus 1 and b equals 3 to the power of k plus 1. The second piece of information tells us that k equals 3. If we start off with only looking at the first piece of information, we can substitute the b and a values that we've been given in the first piece of information into the left-hand side of our original question. So on the left-hand side I will now get 3 to the power of k plus 1 minus 2 to the power of k plus 1, and the right-hand side will remain the same. For the left and right-hand side of this inequality to be compared better, it would be a good idea to remove the brackets on the right-hand side, since we do not have those on the left. So the left-hand side will remain the same for now, whereas the right-hand side will be removed of brackets. So we multiply the 2 with 3 to the power of k, and we also multiply the 2 with minus 2 to the power of k. On the right-hand side we can rewrite 2 times 2 to the power of k, which is actually the same as saying 2 to the power of 1 times 2 to the power of k, as 2 to the power of k plus 1. This according to the rules of exponents. So the right-hand side will change while the left-hand side will remain the same. And now on the right-hand side we will actually get the same term, which is 2 to the power of k plus 1, which we find on the left-hand side as well. And so if we have minus 2 to the power of k plus 1 on the left-hand side, as well as on the right-hand side, we can now remove that term because we can add 2 to the power of k plus 1 on both sides. So on the left-hand side we remain with 3 to the power of k plus 1, and on the right-hand side we have 2 times 3 to the power of k. Now for this comparison to work out, we would need to have the exponents being exactly the same, so that we can see exactly which factors are being multiplied with both terms. If we rewrite 3 to the power of k plus 1 as 3 to the power of k times 3, then the comparison is complete, because we can now remove 3 to the power of k from both sides by dividing it out. And the question now is if 3 is greater than or equal to 2, which is of course correct because 3 is greater than 2. And so the first piece of information is correct. Now we need to look at the second piece of information separately, which means that all of the equations and calculations we've done on the right-hand side are now not valid for this second piece of information, because we need to look at it separately. The second piece of information tells us that k equals 3, which means that on the right-hand side we would now be able to calculate this down to a single number, which you would find to be 38 if you would calculate it all the way through. And so our question would then result in, is b minus a greater than or equal to 38? Which of course at this stage we cannot answer, because if we only have piece of information 2, then we have no information about b and a, and so we cannot see if this is true or not. Therefore the second piece of information is false, and the answer finally is of course a, that the first piece of information is only correct and the second piece of information is not.